first time we are seeing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, specifically chapter 5, Panchamo Adhyaya. Panchamaha Adhyaya. And when we left last night, we had to see now number 10. We chant. Brahmanyadhaya karmani Sangam tyaktva karoti yaha Lipyate na sa papena Padmapatramivambhasa Padmapatramivambhasa. That is the last phrase of the verse. It means, Vasa means he lives. He lives in the world. This is a real seeker, a real sadhak. Lives in the world. How? Padmapatra means like a lotus. Iva. Ambasa, in the water. He lives in the water like the lotus. What is he lives in the water like a lotus? What is that? It means in the water there is mud and slush and water and all things mixed up together. But the lotus lives in the midst of that. But he is untouched by whatever is going. The lotus blossoms beautifully and shines and stands out in spite of living in that mud and slush. And second thing, water may fall and splash on the lotus, but you never see the lotus dirty. It slides off. The two things are there. All the mud and slush may fall on the lotus when rain is falling, but somehow it slides off. And when it is over, again the lotus is clean and nice looking. You see? So two things are there. One is, even though in the midst of all things there, the lotus blossoms nicely, beautifully. And second, if anything falls on it also slides out. Those two things. So here, the person who follows what has been taught in this 5th chapter so far, this is how he will come to live in the world. That is the meaning of the verse. How? Live how? How the 5th chapter has been describing so far. What has it been describing? Brahmanyadhaya karmani. It means to say, he works dedicating all his actions to God. That's the first thing. Dedicate all actions to God. This is a very serious part of spirituality. Everybody keep on saying, Swamiji, you know this thing real hard. First thing people say, too hard. Second thing, it's not practical. Third thing, we can't apply it in our day-to-day life and all that. But this is excuse only. Please remember this. The human mind is an adept in finding excuses, especially when it is something good. And if it is something bad, he has to find no excuse. He'll do it automatically. This is the mind. So, they are all excuses that the mind finds not to do the thing. So, dedicating all actions to God. It is so difficult for the person to take the first step from working for his own selfish ends and to say, I'm going to work for the Lord. Whatever I'm doing right now, I'm going to dedicate that action to God. The person has to make a resolve to do that. I'm going to work for the Lord. Sangam tyaktva karoti. Sangam tyaktva karoti. Brahmanyadhaya karmani. The one who renounces all action, all attachment, and he works. This Sangam tyaktva is a very important phrase also. Renouncing all attachments. Because we are attached to so many little things, you know. Have you seen some people? Even their desk, they like to keep the stapler on the right side. And have some people they are called neat freak. Have you heard that? Neat freaks. The stapler has to be on this side, and the pencil has to be on this side, and everything has to be in a particular place. And if that thing is not done like that, the person gets agitated and disturbed and everything. So, it means that the person is attached to little things. And then, people's attachment goes from all of those little things to also big things. And attachments can be to gross things outside or to subtle things inside the mind also. I'm attached to some gross material thing. or I'm attached to some idea and all. And outside, the degree of attachment gets more and more as you get closer to your body. The strongest attachment on the outside is attachment to our body. That's why nobody wants to die. He doesn't want to give up the body. If Yamraj comes and says, okay, time to go. No. Please spare me. He doesn't want to give up his body. And a person will give up every other member of the family before he gives up himself. His body is so strong, the attachment. So, Sangam Tyaktva. So here specifically, what attachment to what? Attachment to the results of our action. I just told of different types of attachment. But the topic under consideration here is attachment to the results of our action. It means I am doing something and I'm attached to the goal already. So I'm here, but my mind is already lodged in that goal. And it means to say, I do not have presence of mind in doing what I am doing now, because my mind is absent. Where is the mind? The mind is already married to the goal. So the mind is absent. So the person doesn't perform efficiently here because there's absence of mind, and therefore the goal is never reached. That is why most people in the world never succeed in anything. How many successful people you will find? The vast majority just live normally, and all the see, this is a fact. When you go to the primary school or the preschool, you ask every child, okay, when you grow up, what do you want to be? Ask any child. All of them will tell very lofty things, isn't it? And out of 100%, how many of them reach that lofty goal? A mere few percent will reach that lofty goal, because of the same little problem with attachment to the results of action. The mind is not present where you are doing your work. So people say, Swamiji, but we must plan. So who is telling not to plan? Plan, that is the goal. I want to reach that goal. But once you have laid out the goal, why you have to put your mind there? Your mind should be where your hands are. Your mind should be where the work is going on. Then the success will come. You just forget about the goal after that. You already put the goal in your in the future, and now the action is what is going to get you to the goal. So keep the mind where the hands are and give up attachment. So other thing is, many times, the resources in the world, they are scarce. Resources are limited, and not you will be the one who want to get that goal, but there will be 20,000 other people who want to get that goal, isn't it? And not everybody will get it. That's first thing. Second thing is, even if 20,000 people are not there who want to get that goal, and you are the only one, please remember there are forces of nature also which you have to overcome. There are so many things in the nature which will have to contribute to you getting that goal. Suppose you want to go on that side of the river and pluck those 2 mangoes on that tree. That is your goal. Well, the river has to cooperate now. Suppose tomorrow the river is in spade. How you will get? Nature has to cooperate also. So, you don't know, unforeseen circumstances may prevent you from getting the goal. So, if you accept these 2 things in the beginning, that look, there are other people who are also competing for that goal. Second thing, my effort is not the only determining factor in achieving a goal. Nature has to cooperate. Then my karma has to cooperate. Means I have to have good karma also, isn't it? Then Bhagwan also has to say, yes, let him have it. Means manifested Lord, who is karma phaladata, he has to say yes. He has to give the result, because Lord can delay the result. He can, okay, you did the action today, but I'll give you the result next year or in the next life. But you want the result right? No. So how many things have to cooperate? So if you accept these things, understand them, then you will not be so attached to the result. You say, okay, I'm just going to concentrate now on the action here. And if the result has to happen, it will happen. So Sangam Tyaktva, giving up attachment to that result and keeping your mind where your hands are. He says, Lipyate na sapapena. That person is not tarnished by any sins of this world. Which person? The person we're just talking about. The person who has dedicated all his actions to God and he is not attached to the results of his action. Now what the reverse of that means? The reverse of that means, if you're working selfishly, you're not working for God, you're working for yourself. And second, you're attached to the results. It means that you're only creating one sin after another. And what is sin here? Sin here means bondage of karma. Means our karma will bind us to this samsara, and we come in this world again and again, life after life, doing what? Suffering only. That is the sin which is being spoken about. It's not that sin of like you kill somebody or something, that kind of sin. Sin means you go on creating more and more bondage through karma, because you're working selfishly rather than selflessly. So therefore in the next verse tells, apply all of these faculties, body, mind and intellect, in work for Bhagavan, and in that way your mind will become purified. You'll not go on creating more and more papa in the form of karmas in the mind. See, Kayena manasa buddhya Kevalairindriyairapi Yogina karma kurvanti Sangam tyaktvatma shuddhaye Sangam tyaktvatma shuddhaye Yoginaha karma kurvanti. The real seeker, the real aspirant, a yogi type person. Yoginaha karma kurvanti. He does actions. Then how? Kayena manasa buddhya indriyahi kevalaihi. With his senses, body, mind and intellect. He does actions. But Sangam tyaktva, having renounced all attachments to any results, or renounce all. You know, in Trinidad language we say happy-go-lucky fella. Have you heard that thing? Happy-go-lucky means one old man. He was planting a mango tree, a little plant, sapling. So a young fellow came and said, Nana, what is the matter with you? At your age, you hoping to get mango from that tree? Nana said, son, when I came into the world, I met many mango trees. And that is only because many people before me had planted them there. So therefore, I am on my way out. I am planting a tree. Whoever comes after me, they will get mango. It means Nana doesn't have any desire for any mango from any tree. He's just doing it. You see, that type of doing we are talking about. That is real doing. The other one is binding ourselves. I'm planting this mango tree, and every day you go out and watch to see if any mango has come on the tree. And if anybody touch your mango, you break his head, isn't it? Nobody should come near your mango. And how attached you are to the result of your action means you plant the mango tree, you're waiting for fruits. If anybody touches it, you get angry. That means you're only working for yourself. But Nana plant the mango tree. Who gets? If the mango tree bears, somebody will get. If it doesn't bear, nobody will get. But he's doing the action. Do the action with a flair, without any attachment to the result. That is the idea which is being spoken about here in very simple Trini language. So with the body, with the mind, with the intellect, with the senses, go on working in the world, Sangam Tyaktva, and then what will happen? Atma Shuddhaye, for the purification of our mind. The mind will become purer and pure. Atma Shuddhaye means for the purification of the mind. The individual being will become pure. Now see, Nana who is planting there, right? Would that act is a selfless act? He's planting. He's not planting for his children or grandchildren. That children and grandchildren again selfish, eh? That I'm planting for my children and my grandchildren. See his word. When I came into the world, there were mango trees. And I ate mangoes. So I'm planting. Whoever will come after me, they will. That is total selflessness. Selfishness includes myself and my little circle. That it is all in the line of selfishness. It means I am doing it, but I am doing it for the world, whoever will get benefit. Now, of course, there are things like duty, like I have a duty towards my family, right? But that duty only stretches so much. You also have a duty to your community, a society, a country. You have a duty. And today's global society, we have a duty towards the world. That's why we have the different words in Sanskrit. One word is called as Desha Bhakti. Desha Bhakti means what? I have love for my country. But see how the rishis look here. People who were living in other parts of the world at that time, they were not even thinking that it have something beyond Desha Bhakti. I mean, love for your country. But the rishis knew. So in Bhagavad Gita itself, Loka Sangraha, for the benefit of the whole world. They knew that, the whole world is contributing to my welfare. Therefore, I work for the benefit of the world. So here, the real yogi, real sadhak, the real aspirant, real seeker, this is how he works with all the senses, body, mind and intellect, and he works for the benefit of all of humanity without any attachment. This is the key in Karma Yoga. If anybody can do this, he has reached the pinnacle of Karma Yoga. Because people go on talking about Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, Raj Yoga, this yoga, but nobody really studies the thing in depth to understand what it means. It means working with all actions dedicated to God, and at the same time, the person himself not being attached to the result of any action. You just do it with a flair, and who get? Who get the benefit of my work? They get. That is all. After all, who will get it? Only one of Bhagwan's creation will get it, isn't it? Who will get? Somebody in the world will get, and everybody in the world is the creation of the Lord. Most wonderful principle of Bhagavad Gita. Mahatma Gandhi epitomized this. Even when the prime ministership was offered to him, he said, no, I don't want to be any first prime minister of India. Because Mahatma Gandhi was a true karma yogi. I am working. Who get? Get. Who doesn't get? Bhagwan only will dictate that. You see? The person who doesn't work like this now, Bhagwan makes nice contrast, The person who doesn't work like this and he works only with selfishness, that is said in the next verse now. Who doesn't choose karma yoga, what happens to him? Yukta karma phalam tyaktva.
Yukta karma phalam tyaktva.
Shanti mapnoti naishtiki.
Shanti mapnoti naishtiki.
Ayukta kamakarena.
Ayukta kamakarena.
Phale sakto nibadhyate.
Phale sakto nibadhyate.
Phale sakto nibadhyate.
Phale sakto nibadhyate.
The contrast is given between the two of them. Yukta karma phalam tyaktva, the one who works as we were talking about just now, the one who has great faith in this karma yoga, yuktaha, he adheres to this karma yoga firmly, and karma phalam tyaktva, renounces all the results of action, means he detached from the results of action. Let the, what do they say in English? Let the stones fall where they, stones? Let the pebbles fall where they may. Stone too big. Let the pebbles fall where they may. Right? He just does. With a flair. I'm doing. Somebody will benefit in the world with that. Shanti mapnoti. That person, he reaches Shanti, Naishtikim. Having heard, having made a firm resolve and abiding in this path, he reaches the state of Shanti. Shanti mapnoti. And after all, we are looking for Shanti, na? Then, ayukta kamakarena. But the person who has no faith in this and goes on working selfishly only for himself in the world, taking. Now why? That is for me. Kamakarena, with so much of desire. Phale, to what? Phale, the results of actions. He craves and runs and aggrandizes and amass and hoards and me. Such a person says, Sakto nibadhyate. he is bound in this world forever. Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. Shankaracharya writes in Bhajaguna Govindam. What a wonderful verse. I can't stop chanting that verse. Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Jananam,
Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam.
Punarapi Janani Jathare Shayanam.
Govindam, Bhaja Muramate.
Iha samsare bahudustare.
Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam.
Kripaya pare pahi murare.
Govindam, Bhaja Muramate.
Govindam bhaja muramate.
Govindam, Bhaja Muramate.
Again and again birth, again and again death in this world. Because wherever there is birth, there is death. And wherever there is birth, there is sorrow also. Those two things we should say. Bhagavan calls this world Mrityu Samsar. Mrityu Samsar means the world that is fraught with death. And it is that death that causes sorrow. Death doesn't have only one form. Death has so many forms. Like for example, when the black hair turned white, he died. And therefore we go on, died. Means the youth died and was born the adult. And the adult dies and is born the old man. Each previous stage keeps dying, vanishing. That means he vanished. Where the youth went? Vanished, died, disappeared. What is it? In that same Bhaja Govindam he talks. So the world is fraught with death, he says. And it is that death which brings the sorrow. Because the things which we don't want to die, they die. And the things which we want to die, they never die. So this is Mrityu Samsara. Dukkhayo naya evate. The very womb of sorrow, this world. All these are phrases from Gita. The very womb of all sorrows. The sorrows are born. That is this world. So that person comes back to this world again and again because he has created bondage for himself. How he has created the bondage? Because he's attached to the results of his action. And let me tell you how this works now. Every action which is done selfishly, that action creates two things. So you see on the top here now, there's an action which is done selfishly. That action creates two things. One is, it creates a vasana or an impression in the mind. Second, the action creates result, because all actions must bear result. An action cannot be the resultless. There is no such thing as resultless action. So it creates a vasana and it creates a result. So after some time I get the result. Then I enjoy it, because that's why I was doing it in any case, isn't it? I enjoy the result. Whatever I was doing the action for, when I get the thing, I enjoy. When I enjoy, I say, wow, 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 wow. Every good turn deserves a second. That is what I say. One good turn deserves a second. And then I remember how I enjoyed this thing. And that impression and this enjoyment together now, they kick up a desire in the mind. I want this thing one more time. And that desire kicks the individual into action, and you're back to action again. Right? So this is a triangle now, a vicious triangle. Let's have a vicious circle now. It's a vicious triangle. So the action brings a result, and it brings also an impression. And that result and impression together kicks up a desire. Desire kicks up into action, and you start the whole thing again over. And this thing carries in this life from birth till death, and it carries over into the next life, because so many actions you would have done and the result has not yet come. So many actions we would have done and there's still not any result yet, because the result takes some time. So when you will get the result? You have to take birth again to get the result. And whether it is good actions or bad actions, we have to come back to get the result of both. Therefore, in this Bhagavad Gita, what is being spoken about? Not only renouncing good action and their result, both good and action in total, we're supposed to renounce. That this whole chapter is called Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Renouncing all action. Here, at this point where we have reached, it is the renunciation of the result of action and the attachment to the result of the action. That is what is being spoken so far yet. Eventually, to evolve in such a state where he renounces all actions itself totally. That is why sannyas when we get older, sannyas is prescribed, no? That time, let the children work, let them run business, let them do whatever, let them buy land and build and do. That time, you don't engage yourself. As a matter of fact, the moment we reach 50, we are supposed to shift that gear. What is the age? 50. We are supposed to shift gear. Start slowly handing it over to the next generation. Attachment to actions and their results. 85 and still going down the road. Strong. Not letting up at all. Not good. It is ascriptural. Ashastra. Ashastra vihitam. Not prescribed by the Shastra. Not good. So what is the age? 50. 50. That is the prescribed age. A great turn is supposed to be made there in life. So watershed in your journey. So the person who doesn't do that, saktaha nibadhyate, is bound to this cycle. Nibadhyate means bound to this world and its cycle. And what we come back, and like I told now, we like to come back for more blows. I tell you, even a donkey smarter than we. No, see, if you beat a donkey today, right? You beat him and then you release him, and tomorrow when the donkey sees you, what he'll do? Gone, he never come close to you, he means it. So the donkey gets a beating and he learned his lesson that I'm not going to go back there for another beating. But a human being, from birth till death he gets beating. I come back, yeah, next life again. Take another round. He like beating. The samsara bashes us from all sides with so many things. And one thing after the next. None of which we like. We don't like anything in samsara. The chosen things which we like, we pick out. Those things never come. And the one which we do not like, they come. That's an amazing thing. So, that is the meaning of the word bondage. He says, the person who sits quietly inside, renouncing all actions to this world, to the results of renouncing all attachment to the result of action, that person, even though he's doing, he's not doing. This is a very wonderful principle in Bhagavad Gita. Idea that you will only encounter here in Bhagavad Gita, nowhere else. Sarva karmani manasa.
Sarva karmani manasa.
Sanyasyaste sukham vashi.
Sanyasyaste sukham vashi.
Navadvare pure dehi.
Navadvare pure dehi.
Naiva kurvanna karayan.
Naiva kurvanna karayan.
Naiva kurvanna karayan.
Naiva kurvanna karayan.
Sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sanyasyaha te sukham vashi. Vashi is the subject of the sentence. Vashi is a nice word. Let me explain that word. Who is being spoken about here? Vashi. Who is Vashi? What a nice name also you could put for. Vashi means, remember previously we were talking about the one who has become Vijitatma, Vijitendriyaha, like Vishuddhatma. In one of the previous verses, one who has purified his mind, one who has controlled his mind, and one who has conquered all the senses and all that kind of thing, he is called Vashi. Vashi means one who has brought everything under his control. there's Vashi in a worldly sense also, because there are many people who are what we call overpowering, and they overpower other people, and they are control freaks. Have you heard of that? Control freaks. They like to control other people. This person is also called Vashi, who like to control other people. So in Bhagavad Gita, when we speak about Vashi, we don't mean one who can control other people. Because many people see, in so many ways you can control other people now. How did slave masters used to control the slaves? You could control a person like that, by force. You could control a person with money. There's no force there. But the fellow wants, like for example, the man has a donkey. And the donkey lazy. So what he did? He tied a long pole on the donkey's back. And the pole extended beyond the head of the donkey 2 feet. So he tied the pole on the donkey's back from the tail, extended beyond the head 2 feet. And in front, and that 2 feet extra in front of the donkey's eyes, in that 2 feet in front of the head there, he tied a carrot. So there's a carrot hanging right in front of the donkey's eyes. So the donkey walked to get the carrot. Whole day the donkey walking to get that carrot. Now look here. The donkey doesn't realize. In pursuit of that carrot, he carried all the load of the master whole day. So how the master control the donkey now? The donkey want to eat. How easy it is for all things in this samsara to control you by your tongue. So you can control a person in so many ways. When you control people like that, by force, by power, by money, you can control a person by love. You give love, you could bring people under control. So many ways. What is being spoken about here? The real Vashi in Bhagavad Gita is the one who has learned to control himself. That other type of control is really no. If you search well there, we get a little bit philosophical now. Look here. The person who controls the other one by power, by money, by love, by anything, whichever means they choose, right? If you really search deeply there, you will realize that the person who is controlling the other, he is himself controlled by some emotion, some like, some dislike, some desire. So he is being controlled also, and he doesn't know. So that is why it is not any real control. Because see, the master controls the donkey by a carrot. But the master is controlled by a greed for wealth, isn't it? Therefore, making the donkey. But the master doesn't think, oh, I am so smart. I go control this donkey, One barber, hair cutter. The barber was cutting a man's hair in the barber shop. So outside on the street, through the glass window, he saw a little kid passing. So he told the customer, he said, you want to see the dumbest kid in the world? Look here. The barber went on the window, on the glass window, and he tapped the window, and the little boy looked. He said, come. The little boy came inside. So he's telling the customer, look, this is the dumbest kid in the world, look here. The barber took out in this hand a $5 bill. And in this hand, 4 quarters. 4 25-cent pieces. And the barber asked the boy, which one do you want? The 1 or the 4? The boy took the 4. And he went away. So then the barber told the customer, see the dumbest kid in the world? This is 1 here and there's 4 here. He thinks 4 is more than 1. So he took the 4 and he went away. 4 quarters. So the customer said, I wonder why that boy only took that. He really so dumb. He left a $5 bill and took 4 quarters. After he was finished cutting his hair, the customer also left. And he walked down the street and he saw the boy coming out from an ice cream shop licking an ice cream. The boy had already taken the 4 quarters and bought an ice cream and he was licking. So he stopped the boy. He said, oh, what happened? You took the 4 quarters and you left a $5 bill? How you could do that? The little boy said, my dear sir, the day I take that $5, the game is over. No. Who taking who for, who dumb they know? Who taking who for a ride? How many ice cream that little fellow must have eaten? Isn't it? And taking this Baba for a ride. Everyone is Baba thinking that boy is so dumb. So in every instant where you are controlling the world, you don't realize that you yourself are being controlled. Are you thinking the boy dumb? He doesn't realize that the boy is smarter than him. He more dumb than the boy. So that is why the Buddha, for instance, he hammers on this point. This Vashi word is so nice. The Buddha hammers on this point that the person is a real controller, the one who can control his own self. That person is a real controller. He's called Vashi. So that person, Vashi, Sarva Karmani Manasa Sanyasya. That one who renounces mentally all karma. This is Arjuna's question from the beginning. Arjuna wanted to renounce all actions physically and run away. Bhagavan says manasa, mentally. So actions that will be renounced, not physically. You don't leave your action and run away and go and sit down somewhere. For how long you will sit? If you could do it and sit there permanently and really follow the rules of sannyas and all, if you could do it, then okay, there'll be one or two who can do it. But Arjuna is certainly not a fit candidate. Nor are we to go on, to leave everything and go on sit down. So they got a manasa, renouncing all actions mentally. That manasa word is the operative word here, mentally. And it means renounce the attachment to the results. Just do the action with a flair and let Bhagavan decide thereafter what will be the result and to whom it will accrue and all that. Let it be. Just do. So that person, that Vashi, controlling himself, renouncing all his actions mentally, Navadare Pure Dehi, he is also called as Dehi. Dehi means the one who lives in this body. Because the body is called in Sanskrit as Deha. Deha. So the one who lives in the body is called as Dehi. Just like, have you heard in Trinidad? This name we brought from India. Brijbasi. Brijbasi name you ever heard? Basi. Basi means who lives. Bas means to live. Basi means who? Lives where? In Brij. Brij is a place in India, in Vrindavan, near Vrindavan. That's how the name came. So, Bas means to live. Who lives in that place, he is called Basi. So here, Deha is body. Who lives in the body, he is called Dehi. The words are formed very easily also in both the languages, Hindi or Sanskrit. So that Dehi, he lives in this city of 9 gates. And na eva kurvan na karayan. He doesn't do anything, nor does he cause anything to be done. The person who follows all we are talking about, he sits quietly inside and he doesn't do anything, nor does he cause anything to be done. It means the person becomes identified with the reality which is deeper inside, and he just watches all things happen in this world, as I was describing yesterday. He sees the world transpiring. This world will transpire very well with us or without us, including the body, mind and intellect. It is just that the body, mind and intellect, they are doing their work, but I identify with them and I say, I am doing the work. They will do their work also very well. Navadware Pure Dehi. Navadware means this body has 9 gates. In Bhagavad Puran, there is a wonderful story on this one word, Navadware Pure. The city of 9 gates, the body is called. 9 gates means they have 9 apertures in the body. 9 apertures. You count when you go home. Bhagwan. Bhagwan says now in the next verse, the one who goes inside and just becomes a looker, he merges with me. And really, that Lord, he is not involved in any doing. Everything gets done in his presence. I'll give you the example just now. Nakartritvam nakarmani.
Nakartritvam nakarmani.
Nakartritvam nakarmani.
Nakartritvam nakarmani.
Lokasya srijati prabhu.
Lokasya srijati prabhu.
Nakarma phala samyogam.
Nakarma phala samyogam.
Swabhavastu pravartate.
Swabhavastu pravartate.
Nadatte kasyachit papam.
Nadatte kasyachit papam.
Nachaiva sukritam vibhuhu.
Nachaiva sukritam vibhuhu.
Ajnanena vritam jnanam.
Ajnanena vritam jnanam.
Tena muhyanti jantavaha.
Tena muhyanti jantavaha.
Jnanena tu tadajnanam.
Jnanena tu tadajnanam.
Yesham nashitam atmanaha.
Yesham nashitam atmanaha.
Tesham aditya vajnanam.
Yesham aditya vajnanam.
Prakashayati tatparam.
Prakashayati tatparam.
Prakashayati tatparam.
Prakashayati tatparam.
Many people impute actions to God, right? In these 3 verses, there is denial of any action on the part of God. So how do we reconcile these seemingly contradictory statements of Shastras? That is a little bit challenging and it requires a little bit of study. Now let me recap that and tell you in simple English now. Many people say, Bhagwan does this, Bhagwan does that, Bhagwan does the other thing, he is doing everything in the world. And in these verses, it is said, Bhagwan does nothing. How is that? Now see, let me ask you a simple question. This is a summary of these 3 verses, right? I just summarized these all 3 verses for you in a simple synopsis. Now see. The king who lives in the capital city, right? The king lives in the capital city. And this is the village or another town. So the king announces, on such and such day, on Krishna Janmashtami day, I am going to visit the next town. In his own kingdom only. But he usually lives in the city. But he's on Krishna Janmashtami day, he is going to visit the next town. Big town. That town also has a Prabhu, Master, this, that, right? So he announces. So the message goes quickly. The king is coming on Krishna Janmashtami day. Right? So the master of that town, the mayor, whoever it is and all, he quickly gathers all the people, gathers all his key workers and everybody, and they start cleaning up the town. Then they make a big munch, means a tent and everything, and they start decorating the place. Then they get performers to come, and they organize a whole big program. They prepare food and so many things, right? Because the king is coming. Now the king comes and he just walks from his chariot. He comes with his chariot, comes down and walks in here, and the whole program starts unfolding with all the top performers from all over the country. They came there to perform for the king, dancers and singers and acrobats and so many people, and a whole big show takes place. And then the people show the king around, and this is what is going on in our town and this and that. Now look here. That is a most amazing situation where the king does not one single of those things that are done there. He does nothing. Right? He didn't go and get singers and performers, acrobat. He didn't clean up anything. He didn't call together any committee meeting to plan this whole elaborate program. The king did nothing. But there's one more peculiar state there. That is, without the king also, none of those things get done. Had there been no king, and he didn't, or the king didn't say he was coming, any of those things would have gotten done. So at the same time, the same king who does nothing is responsible for everything getting done. That's a peculiar situation or not? It means his presence is so powerful that in his presence everything gets done, though he himself does nothing. That is what is the. If you remember this example, you will try resolve in your mind mentally this seeming contradiction in scripture. But so many places in scripture that Bhagwan does this, Bhagwan does that, Bhagwan does the other thing. So many things he does, right? And here now in these 3 verses, nakartritvam nakarmani lokasya srijati prabhu. The Lord is not engaged in anybody's making in anybody the feeling of doership, or the Lord is not engaged in any karma or any such thing. In the reality inside, na karma phalasam yogam. The Lord doesn't bring any result to anybody. But you do this, okay, so you get this result, the Lord says. Or he does that, he gets that result, the Lord says. All denial of any action in these verses. So avastu pravartate. The whole thing is working all by itself in the presence of the Lord. Nadatte kasyachit papam. He doesn't give anybody the result of papa, sins. Nachayava sukritam vibhuhu. And this Lord vibhuhu, who is all pervasive, he doesn't give anybody the result of good action, no bad action. Nothing. Denial. So it seems to contradict the scriptures. But there is no contradiction. So here, the king does nothing, yet he does everything. Because of his presence, everything gets done. Like that. So here now, because of the presence of the absolute reality, God, all things in the universe get done. Even though that presence itself is not engaged in any active work, any real activity. That is like when the sun rises in the morning, the sun doesn't tell or command the sunflower to open. The mere presence of the sun makes the sunflower open. And the sun is not disturbed by anything, whether the sunflower opens or doesn't open. The sun's presence make them blossom, bloom, and come out and dance. But the sun doesn't command any of them to do that. In his presence only it happens. Without his presence also they will not open. That is how the Lord's relationship is. So at the same time, because without his presence they will not open, it means without him no action. It means all actions are happening because of him. And at the same time he is not really directly engaged in any action. So there is no contradiction in scripture. It just has to be understood properly. Now another way to understand that in Bhakti Yoga, I'll tell you this. In Bhakti Yoga, in example in Tulsi Dasji's Ramayana and in Bhagavad Purana and so many places, right? It just said, well yes, the Lord, because he is omnipotent, means he could do whatever he wants, he has 2 forms. One form is called as Nirgun Brahma and the other form is called as Sagun Brahma. And Nirgun Brahma form of the Lord does nothing. And Sagun means with name, with form, with shape, with characteristics and traits and attributes. That form of God does everything. So at the same time the Lord does and he doesn't do. And people think that seemingly contradictory things are not possible at the same time. It is present, it is possible. Don't think that seemingly contradictory things are not possible. They are very much possible. Even from an ordinary standpoint, contradictory things are possible. They can exist at the same time and happen at the same time. So if they can happen from an ordinary standpoint, why they cannot happen from the absolute standpoint, where Bhagwan is doing and not doing at the same? Why? Because your mind cannot conceive it, you think Bhagwan cannot do it? See, I told you last time the example. What is that? You can go north and south at the same time? Yes. Very easy. So from an ordinary point of view, you can be going north and south at the same time. So if those seemingly contradictory things are possible from an ordinary point of view, why from the absolute point of view, where the Lord is all powerful, omnipotent, Sarva Shaktiman, He cannot do two seemingly contradictory things at the same time. So you're going on a train and the train is traveling north. And you're on the train and you're walking towards the back of the train. The train is traveling north, you're walking towards the back of the train. Which direction are you going? North and south at the same time. So ordinarily also it is possible to have contradictory things coexisting. So also the Lord does and He doesn't do at the same time. Just like in the case of the king. In the final analysis, it will be said, suppose somebody asks, who organized this program? It will be said, well, the mayor. But when you ask the mayor, who organized this program? Well, it is all because of the king, you know. So finally it falls back on the king. So the king organized and did not organize at the same time. That is the idea. So same with Bhagwan. Ajnanena avritam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavaha. The person deluded, the human being deluded, thinks that God is doing this and God is doing that and God is doing the other thing. But there is a level from which you can see where God is not doer of anything. Second idea which is involved in this thing here, God has an inherent power. That power is called Maya, Prakriti, nature, all of that thing. It is that power which is engaged in doing. That is the sagun aspect of God. Jnanena tu tadajnanam tesham nashitam atmanaha tesham adityavach jnanam prakashayati tatparam. When the delusion, agyan from the person is lifted by this type of knowledge which is being given here in this yajna, when the ignorance is lifted, the person comes to discover, really? Ooh. So Bhagwan was not doing anything and I was not doing anything. He comes to discover both, because he is one with Bhagwan. We are all one with God. We come to discover that. So we were not doing anything. Bhagwan was not doing anything. The whole thing was going on. For example, when you are on your bed and you are dreaming a tiger chasing you, you run. Nah? But when you wake up, then what do you say? Oh, there was no tiger. There was nothing. Then you realize it was all a dream. And do you know Tulsidas, she says this whole world, Shankaracharya says all, this whole world we are living in is like a dream only. The whole thing is like a dream. Kavitaji has written a really nice bhajan. See, one of the verses says that also. नाम सुमर ले सुमिरन कर ले,
नाम सुमर ले सुमिरन कर ले,
नाम सुमर ले सुमिरन कर ले,
नाम सुमर ले सुमिरन कर ले।
कौन जाने कल की जगत में खबर नहीं पल की,
जगत में खबर नहीं पल की, जगत में खबर नहीं पल की।
कोरी कोरी माया जोरी बात करे छल की, हरे राम बात करे छल की।
कोरी कोरी माया जोरी बात करे छल की, हरे राम बात करे छल की।
पाप की गठरी है सिर ऊपर,
पाप की गठरी है सिर ऊपर,
कैसे होए हल्की जगत में
खबर नहीं पल की, जगत में
संसार रे एका स्वप्ना कोस कुंद जल की हरे राम कोस कुंद जल की
यह संसार रे एक सपना कोस कुंद जल की
हरे राम कोस कुंद जल की कहे हो कबीर साहब सुनो भाई साधो
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 बात सतगुरु की जगत में
खबर नहीं फल की खबर नहीं फल की जगत में खबर नहीं फल की
जगत
में खबर नहीं फल की
यह संसार रे एका स्वप्न Kabirdas ji telling, Tulsidas ji telling, Shankaracharya ji, everybody is telling this world is like a dream. Dream for who? You see, while you are in the dream and the tiger is chasing, that time do you think this is a dream? Even if you suppose the tiger chased you, right? And you run down there and you take like this left turn, and when you turn the corner, there's a man standing there in the dream, eh? And the man tells you, hey, don't worry about the tiger. This is only a dream. What you will tell him? You'll tell, Arey bhaiya, you stand in front of the tiger, I go in. Isn't it? That even in the dream, if somebody tells you that a dream, you don't? You don't believe, you take off from there. In the very same way, the saints and sages are telling you, this world is like a really, for who? For the person who wakes up. For the person who wakes up to what? To reality. So there are two types of waking up. One waking up is when you wake up in the morning from sleep and dream. That's one type of waking up. There's a higher level of waking up when you wake up to your own nature, your oneness with God. When you wake up to reality, when you wake up to enlightenment. That time, only after waking up, the dreamer realizes it was a dream. While in the dream, you never think. You never say, this would have been nice fun if you could have done it. Okay, this is only a dream. Let me sit down and let me see the tiger eat my arm by one arm. Then I will know what it is like for a tiger to eat me. Anybody ever had such a dream? Let the tiger eat my leg first. And maybe this is a nice tiger. No. So, all scriptures, all saints and sages are telling this world is like a dream. And after waking up, then only the person comes to realize, oh, it was all a dream. Jnanena tu tad ajnanam. When the knowledge removes the ajnana, ignorance from the mind, the person comes to realize his true self. And then he realized all of this thing I was running after in this world, one after the next. What all? I was running from that tiger so much. And so that person is happy to wake up, isn't it? When the tiger chases you, happy to wake up or not? One tiger was chasing a man. And the man realized that he cannot outrun the tiger, So he bent down and he started praying. That was his last resort. The only thing to do now is pray. What to do? So, to his amazement, the tiger also bent down and put his two front paws together and started to pray. So the man was amazed. What? The tiger also praying? You're some special divine tiger or what? You're the tiger on whom Mother Durga rides? Here the tiger, hey, be quiet. I'm saying my prayers before meals. And Tiger was saying Brahmarpanam. So, in the dream state, the person never realizes that he's in a dream and he never says any of these things. Here, we are so lucky that there are saints and sages who have walked this path and who have woken up and they have come back to tell us that the whole thing is a dream. And when we come out of the dream, when we slip from the dream state into the waking state, that is called coming out. Here, waking or waking up is likened to the acquisition of Gyan. When knowledge dawns and ignorance is removed, that is called waking up. That's why it is called enlightenment. Realization. Tesham adityavaj jnanam, and prakasha, it is like the sun rising and all the darkness vanishes when the sun rises. So here also, when the person gets Gyan, knowledge, the person is woken up, realize that it was a big dream only, the whole thing. Prakashayati tat param. The reality becomes apparent to that person. Alright. Tad buddhayas tadatmana tadatmanaha tannishthas tat parayanaha gachanti apunaravrittim jnanadidhuta kalmasha. Come to know that reality. Come to dwell in that reality. And the person will go to a state from where there is no return. We'll see that verse tomorrow. We're talking about going to a state from where there is no return. And in contrast to that, I was telling you about a state previously where we go and we come. We go and come. Go and come. And every time we come, blows. In the form of death and disease and sickness and misery and sorrow and anguish and pain. That is what the blows we are talking about. Disappointment, heartbreak. Oh, so many things, one after the next. Alright. So here the verse is speaking about going to a state from where there is no return. That is the goal of Bhagavad Gita.